ladies and gentlemen, back here for another edition of 40 Years, 40 Moments. I have one of the original founding fathers of Coker men's soccer in Rick Blanks. Rick, you're calling in from Portland, Oregon. Is that right?
That's correct.
Well,
Yeah.
Rick, it's great to have you here today. We'll go through these, take as much time as you need, but
All
we'll
right.
we'll start with kind of you being an Englishman. What was it about Coker? Why did you choose Coker?
Well, despite being English, I had lived in South Carolina in my school years, uh, junior high and high school, and I my own high school didn't have a soccer team till I was a junior, and it was very new the sport in those days, and by the time my senior year rolled around, I was very interested in playing in college. So I looked at a couple of places, Presbyterian, um, Winthrop, which is in Rock Hill where I was living. But I was just so interested in Coker when my high school coach spoke to Tim Griggs, who was uh, he was starting the program at Coker, and he invited me down, and pretty much he sold the place to me. It was a small town. I mean, Rock Hill's not a big town, but comparative to Hartsville, it was quite small. The college was uh, very small. I mean, there was hardly any students at that time, but I like the thought of going to a smaller environment than an high school that was very big. And I thought this is the place for me. And also the fact it's a first year team. And I thought this will be great. I started in a first year team in high school, and then I can do it in college. And in those days, I felt like I had decent enough skill to get through because I grew up on the sport in England, where a lot of people hadn't here at the time, especially in that part of the world. Yeah, so that's what brought me to Coker.
Absolutely. And through those first couple of years, do you have one particular favorite on-field memory?
Who, um, I have
I
to
mean, I
say,
know I know that list is a mile long, but
I have to say, our great start where we actually won the very first official game. Um, we had won a scrimmage match just the week before against Tim Greig's alma mater, St. Andrews University. And that was thrilling, even though it was a scrimmage match. And I think they were surprised that, oh, this is a first year team. And then the next game we played was our first official, which is against Presbyterian, one of the schools that I looked at. And they had a very, it wasn't, it'd been there 2 or 3 years, but not much of a program. And we managed to win that game, and I was fortunate to score the very first goal, which will stay with me the rest of my life. I mean, the victory was the main thing, but it was just oh, it was a thrill, and that stayed with me.
so again, I know this list as well is probably a mile long, but your favorite off the field memory around, Coker or around the soccer program.
Favorite off the field memory, I gotta say, after we won our um, annual indoor soccer tournament, which was my senior year. So it was the year that the originals would be leaving, and we had gotten better with each passing tournament, and it was such a fun weekend. We really look forward to it. Of course, it was unofficial like the regular outdoor season, but in those days, it was played. It was more of a thing to do for colleges and very special. Colleges loved coming to Coker to play in it. especially because we had the Cobra Dan, which was unique. Other places didn't have something like that, and it was that and the celebrations that we had after winning that tournament will stay with me for the rest of my life. We had a great time. Yeah, it was definitely.
That's awesome, and I can only imagine
Yeah.
for sure. But for you, looking back on 40 years of this program and your time and the mark that you left on this program, to you, what what makes this program special?
I think it's coming into that environment, and I believe that Coach Michael's doing the same thing right now. There's a closeness. We had it in our time. We were very close as we had support from the other sports. They would support us when we played, and then we would go and support them when they played. And it was we all, we knew each other. It wasn't like we were, oh, here's the soccer players, here's the basketball players, I mean, of course they had their own close knit groups, but as far as there was a good fan support, and we all, we were friends. We knew each other, and that was special. That you had a bond with these other people that played in other sports, and it also was a bond that established us. Um, in those days, it just seemed like the years lasted longer. And then you think back, well, it was such, the years they didn't go by too quick. But then a lot of that is you get older and they fly by. So I always remember one thing that Coach Griggs said. He said, guys, now enjoy this because it's the best time of your lives. He says, once you've had this, you know, it's it doesn't get any better. Playing a sport that you love, and it stuck with me. It did, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, for sure, Rick. It's been a pleasure getting to talk to you for a few minutes,
Yeah,
and absolutely, we love that you've volunteered to be a part of this series with us.
sure. And I wish, I've always supported Coker. Uh, I went back to England in 1989 after assisting Coach Griggs for a couple of years, and didn't come back to 2012. And then it was nice to actually carry on and be able to join Coker in supporting them again. And uh, Paul East was there at the time, and he brought this program back to a good amount of success. And I just would love to see it continue with Michael, and that he seems to have them going in the right direction. Except when we play them, and when I say we, that's England, the flag in the back. Scotland next week in the Euros. So it's come on England if you see Michael next time.
I'll be sure to let him know.
Yeah. um,
Oh man, Rick, it's been great to talk to you. I really appreciate your insight, and I'm glad you could be a part of this project with us.
and thanks, Jacob, for inviting me to talk with um, this session, and I wish you all the best.
Absolutely, you as well. It's nice to put a
Okay,
face to a name.
there we go. Yeah. All right.
Hey, Rick, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you.
You take care.
You too.
Cheers.